Hey kids, and today we'll be reading about the Lorax by Dr. Seuss. So here we go. And there he is. Isn't he so cute? That's just like in the movie. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Yeah. So here we go. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of lifted Lorax. I've watched that since I was in 6th grade 2 years ago. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. Hey. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum, on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. And oh, hey, that's my birth month, August. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you'll have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. I love that. Then he pulls the pail, makes a most careful count, to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovelous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Slap! Down slops the whisper-ma-phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swalmy swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees, the trafula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the trafula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate trafula fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. Yeah. You like my Lightning McQueen voice, because I think I do. It's Onceler wagon, you know. But those trees! Those trafula trees! All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. Well, here we go as well. The Oncelers. Yeah. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a trafula tree with one chop, and with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a fneed, It's hard for me to pronounce that, but that's okay. We'll move on. The instant I finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of a stump of a tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? Well, that's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Oh, Mister, he said in a sawdusty sneeze. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongue. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my Trifula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a fneed. A fneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt. It's a sock. It's a glove. It's a hand. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. It's a hat. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy that fool fneed. But the very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along, and he thought that the fneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You can never tell what some people will buy. Oh my, oh my. I repeat, cried the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. Well, that wasn't nice as well, was it? I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. Fneeds, the Oncelers. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. The whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting fneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of a chopping of Trifula trees. My voice sounds like Lonnie from Tie of a Little Bus, which I love. And here's the fneeds. Then, oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 Trifula trees at one smacker. We were making fneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. That's the movie I remember. And here, the Onceler in Chief Private Fneeds. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please, but I'm also in charge of the brown Barbaloots, who played in the shade in their Barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating Trifula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough Trifula fruit to go around. My poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. Gas, no food? Huh. Well, I still believe well. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. And there's a positive that we've learned during English. Needs, you need a need. West, south, east, north, you need a need. Needs, you need a need. I meant no harm. I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my family. I biggered my roads. I biggered my wagons. I biggered the loads of the needs I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Pipe house. Oh, that's cute. Needs. You need a need. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snargled, he sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a cruffleless croak. Onceler, you're making such smokeless smoke. My poor swoomy swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat. So gross. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here. What's more? Snapped the Lorax. His dander was up. Let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity Glup, also Schloppity Schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you! How mean of that, Lorax. He's supposed to be nice. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for the gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. I mean, it is dreary, weary, and smeary, but I edited it though. That's okay. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. Very well. And for your information, and FYI, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into needs, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. All right, how many pages? Oh yeah. No, we have a few more. So you need a need. Okay, so No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into cars and drove away under the smoke smuggered stars. Now all that was left near the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax and I. That means you don't need a need. There are signs of needs. But Lorax said nothing. It just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look of his face when he heisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smoke without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess very well. Unless. That was long ago, but each day since that day I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says V. Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls V. Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. And that's it. And if you're watching this story, like and subscribe. And I gotta go. Bye.